Greetings, Terrarians, Chaos here. Can you all keep a secret? Despite what the title of this video says, this is actually the last video of the Pylon series. Today, we are going to be taking on the Universal Pylon. But Chaos, why did you not name it the Universal Pylon? The YouTube algorithm has decided that it does not like my Pylon series. It doesn't want to promote my Pylon series anymore. I went from about 40% of my views coming from suggested videos to only about 15%, which means the algorithm's like, we don't like this series. So I'm pulling a fast one on the algorithm. We're doing the series anyway. We're finishing up strong, whether or not the algorithm likes it. And I'm just going to pick a different, unique title. So the Universal Pylon is unique from every other Pylon in Terraria in that it doesn't require any NPCs to function. It is also the most difficult Pylon to obtain, as you have to purchase it from the zoologist upon 100% completion of the bestiary. This thing is not easy to get. So anybody that downloads the world save for this world will be lucky to start off with it. Now, for today's build, you've been looking at it all along. Ever since the first video where this NPC house popped up, this has been it. The entire time. The Universal Pylon house in its perfect boxy glory. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll catch you all later. Happy building. Obviously, I'm joking. I could never ever do this for the final build of a series that has taken nearly a year long to complete. You know, so shame on you if you thought I was actually going to end the series with this. Today, I have something very special planned, very unique. I want to tie in the heavenly overworld with the demonic underworld. And I want to do a build that has both of those linked together. And by linked, I mean physically. I'm going to be making a Hoik elevator from the surface to hell and back. It's going to be two-directional, and I'm not going to follow my one-tunnel Hoik elevator design because I want this to be usable in multiplayer. I have some people that I know will be using this world in multiplayer. So, I just wanted to break the walls faster. I didn't want to demolish all the trees. They needed to go anyway. So there will be a Hoik in this design. And I'm actually going to be putting the Universal Pylon at the dead center of the world, I think. Like, dead center, wherever that is, right about here. And then you could choose your path up to the heavens or down to the underworld. We'll see how it goes. For now, I'm going to start on the surface area. And what I'm thinking about doing is having a cloud that's kind of sitting in the ground. I don't really want to make another sky build. We've got enough of that already. I just want to make it feel heavenly down here. So like heaven on earth. But before I do that, I've got some pesky NPCs that I have to get rid of. They're kind of in the way. If you would like to download and use this world save for yourself, you can finally do so. The world has been uploaded to the new Terraria Steam workshop, so you can grab a copy there. You will find a link to it in the description below. The world save will contain the builds for all of the 9 pylons, plus houses for every NPC except for Santa Claus, as he isn't around full time. There will also be a normal mode, expert mode, master mode, and journey mode version of the world for download, so you can pick which works best for you. Again, you will find the link to those in the description below. So we have the beginning cloud area for the heavenly side. And I think I'm going to have some other clouds floating around, maybe a couple of structures on them, some grass patches. I want this to have trees. I want it to have vines. And in my mind, at least, when I picture something heavenly, I don't just think white and sterile. I think lush and natural. So I'm going to try and incorporate that. But before we do any of that, I did also start the area for the Hoik elevator. Now this is 6 blocks wide, I believe 7 blocks wide, because we're going to have an up and a down. So you can see if I place walls here, this will be like the up area, this will be the down area, and then I have space on either side and in the middle for separating walls to make everything look nice. And what I'd like to do before I get started on any of the cloud building work up top is I'd like to get the elevator going, at least get a template going. And I was thinking it would be nice to have like a light looking side, like the light side, and have the dark side going down to the underworld, as it were. I also marked off a midway point for the actual pylon location. It's going to be right around here. Yes, there's the line. So yeah, here's the midway point. It's pretty roughly in the center of this landmass. Maybe not exact, but it's close enough for me. I'll take it. And so that's where the universal pylon and the two different Hoiks will meet up. I'll make a cavern in here and make that look really unique. All right, so I'm thinking of incorporating a lot of white and gold into the heavenly side. So maybe a golden strip. I don't know if it'll go all the way down. I might break it up a little bit as well. We'll see. I want to have it look like it's stuck into the side as well. So I'm going to grab some dirt, because I'll probably be needing that, because the gray brick that I'm going to be using won't combine with things like that clay there. So I'm going to have to get rid of that. But what I might end up doing is something like this, where we have bits of it going into the wall a little bit, so it looks like it's actually built into the side. And that's going to look better in color if I painted white, but it's also going to make the blending between the dirt and the gray brick not look as good. I don't know how easy it would be for Relogic to fix something like this, but it'd be really nice if the block you painted, whenever it has a blended texture like this, where one texture seeps into the other, it'd be so nice if painting it did not paint that seeped texture, because this would be absolutely perfect without these rigid lines into the dirt. So I don't know. I'm going to decide. I want the white brick, but I don't know about this right here. I don't know. I'm going to have to experiment around with it and see what I like the most. Now, this is a heavenly Hoik elevator, and with just a few tweaks, some gray paint instead of white paint, different kinds of bricks here and there, I could easily convert this into a hellish one to complement it on the other side. And I'm looking forward to doing that. All you have to do to use this elevator is follow the little arrow indicators that have been painted yellow here. This side goes up, that side goes down. You'd press down here to head down to where the universal pylon is. We're not going to do that right now because I'd like to finish the top side first, and then we're going to build the underworld side, and then we will build the center where the universal pylon is going to be seated. Now, what I'm thinking about doing here is having some grass and dirt on either side of spawn. This is the spawn point right here. And if you're enjoying my content, I would greatly appreciate you considering subscribing to the channel. We started the year off strong, but we've hit a bit of a slowdown in new subscribers lately, putting us further from our goal of 300,000 by summer. I do think it's still possible though. If you enjoy my videos and you'd like to help tell YouTube that I'm doing a good job, I'd greatly appreciate you subscribing and pressing the bell so you get notifications on all of my new videos. Thank you all. The garden section is looking pretty good now. We've got a couple of apple trees, and I haven't built apple trees in a while, so I was very happy to do that. The fog machines were a great addition in my opinion, because it just makes this feel even more cloud-like. Though admittedly, this is kind of feeling like an ice cream sandwich. Now that I've said it, you won't unsee it. Doesn't matter. I'm leaving it anyway because, let's face it, ice cream sandwiches are heavenly. So I want to work on 3 NPC houses here. And the reason why specifically 3 is we have 18 houses covered throughout the world. and I would like to get the last 7 in. Now, that's not counting a house for Santa Claus because he's only here temporarily, so I'm not really too worried about that. But all the other NPCs will have houses. So if I do 3 here, 3 in the underworld, and 1 where the universal pylon is going, it will be every NPC covered, and I will be a happy man. So I'm probably going to have 2 houses here, like a tower, and then it comes out to another small building on top of a cloud, and then another NPC house here in a small tower. And I also kind of want to make the pearly gates in a way. I've thought of different ways that I want to do this. At first, I wanted to make them entirely ornate out of gold ore that's been actuated, but gold doesn't look so good when it's actuated, and I don't want it to be solid because I'd like players to walk in front of it. You know, all things considered, I'm pretty happy with this. I can deal with this. So we have some marble column, some pearlwood fence, and then some marble platforms. Pretty simple, yet kind of elegant. I like it. I like it. So up next, I need to work on the buildings themselves. I'm gonna think about trying to incorporate some pearlstone into here, but it's pretty bright. I'm not sure how much I'm going to like it. I might switch it out for sandstone brick. The reason I wanted pearlstone though is because it sparkles, and I think it'd bring a nice addition. I have now completed the heaven side, and I think everything is looking pretty good in my opinion. And I think it's a great place to just spawn into this world. There's a lot going on in this world, and I think it's a good introduction. So up here we have the tower. It's golden, it's shiny, it's got a bunch of marble furniture in it. And here we have the 3rd valid NPC house. I thought it'd be suiting to have a little bit of grape juice and an apple. And I thought it'd be fun to put the creation of the guide painting in here as well, since all of that is, you know, somewhat related. So up next, I'm going to take the general concept of what we have here, everything, the clouds, the 3 buildings, to an extent, the trees. We're going to make it look evil, flip it upside down, and stick it in the underworld. And now we have the upside down cloud, and I have to be careful how I design the next parts. I still want to have a tower here that's upside down, and it has a bridge over to another tower with a cloud segment above it. And I want it to kind of mirror what we have up on the surface. However, I don't want the interior to feel like it's upside down, if that makes any sense. I want it to make sense to navigate. I don't want tables on the ceiling. I want to make it look like if you moved into a building that was upside down, but gravity still affected you this way, you would probably design the interior of that building with gravity in mind. And I just think that makes a build like this more playable because, again, I do want this to be a playable map. And now we have a smooth way to get into the tower without having to fly in, because many people won't be able to fly at the very beginning of the game. And everything in here is relatively dark. I'm still deciding what kind of light sources I want in here. I could do the obsidian or demon light set, but I don't really want the purple. I'd rather have something red. We'll see. I'm thinking about it still. But we have these chains here as a way to get up and down, instead of, you know, a spiral staircase or something that we already have up on the surface. We've got a couple of rooms here for NPCs. I need to furnish them, but everything's coming together relatively well. I'm going to do a small platform here with some cages hanging from it. The next time you see this part, it's probably going to be done. And here we have our demonic underworld buildings all done. I threw some ember and cinder walls in here to just make it look like some lava was peeking through. We went with some of the newer, spookier paintings for decorations in here, as well as the blue dungeon furniture set for the skulls. And I thought about doing a darker, redder lighting for the interiors, but then I ran into the same problem that we did with the Hallow Pylon build, where everything was too dark, too samey. So I went ahead and got a brighter lighting in here with the lizard brick, and I'm very happy with how everything in here has turned out. Behind the grate that's been actuated here, the red stained glass, I went ahead and painted illuminant so it would glow and shine through in the background even more, and I'm very happy with that as well. And then over here we have a few cages. Now most of these are for decorations, but this one in particular, it's actually a valid NPC house. You'll see if we go over here, these ones are too small, but this one, oh, I didn't click that, but still. This one is a suitable house. Now there's a specific reason for that. This house is a lot bigger than it appears to be, but if you're curious how to build that, I will leave a link to a tutorial video that I have in my channel, and that will be in the description below, so be sure to go check it out. But that completes the hell side of everything. But the last thing that we need to do is actually go up to the middle of the world and work on where the actual pylon is going to be. And here we are in the center of the world. I've cleared out a sizable area. Most likely I won't be using all of this, but I wanted to give plenty of space just in case this happens to be the area where the V forms. I don't think it is, but safety, right? So we have this cloud here that I can't do a whole lot about, because when you're coming down to the Hoik elevator, early game, if you don't have anything to mitigate fall damage, you're going to have to land on something that will break that fall, be it water, cloud, silly balloon, pink slime. So for now, I've got cloud there. I even have cloud at the very bottom of the hell version of the elevator. I've kind of hidden it by hammering it against that block there and painting it black. I'll probably do the same thing here. And another issue that you may notice is that I am using hellstone here because I think it's a nice looking counterpart to the gold. It's got the embers coming off of it. It's very reflective of the underworld versus the heavens, right? The issue with that is if you don't line yourself up in here perfectly early game before you get an obsidian skull or something equivalent, then you're going to take some burning damage going down this elevator. But I actually think that's an interesting way of keeping people from just going down there immediately. I think it's not necessarily a bad thing, because at least personally, I don't even go to the underworld until I have an obsidian skull in the first place. So the plans for this room is to make kind of a couple more towers that complement each other, one evil, one good, right over each other, reflecting each other perfectly, maybe with some clouds on top of the bottom tower that the Hoik will take us all the way up to. So they'll probably meet right around here, and then have a void around here. It's gonna be like full of blackness and stars, and then have the universal pylon off to one side. Now the build is complete, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So if we head down into the Hoik elevator to the center of the world, we're going to have an interesting void-looking section. It's got a bunch of darkness, a bunch of stars, and even if you were to wear something like the ultra bright helmet, I tried to match the walls similarly in colors. So the golden starry wall, it's kind of got a blue tint to it, so I kind of matched that with the granite wall. I thought that would be as close as I could get them. I couldn't find anything else closer. But here we have the tower, the nice one, the heavenly one, and the evil one below it, mirroring each other. And then the pylon off to the side. And I did use echo blocks around here, so that way you could smoothly walk from one tower to the other and easily jump from one to the other. In case you don't have wings yet, because if you're going to be downloading this map and playing it, then you will not have wings immediately, I would imagine. But this will conclude the build, and we can head down into the underworld. Everything's working, and everything is looking pretty good. I'm happy with how all of this has turned out. I hope you all are as well. Once again, the download to this is now on the brand new Terraria Steam workshop, so be sure to go check it out. And there will be a link to that in the description below. For now, thank you all very much for watching. I'll catch you all later. Happy building.